All right, so today's headline, everybody, is the top 7 reasons to launch your business in the USA in 2023. Ty, start us off. Tell us about the 7 reasons of why you should be looking to start a business this year if you have not, or if you're working with someone who is on the fence about it, there's a few things to consider that they should look at.
Yeah, and I'm glad we're starting with this one because as you were talking there, Leo, I was starting to think about other friends and colleagues that have said, they have this minimalist, this small mindset that's just stuck because they say, oh, well, all the businesses have already been created. Yeah. It's too competitive. There's no way. I mean, there's way too many people doing flooring businesses or selling cheeseburgers, whatever the business may be. But it's just a matter of they don't understand the market size and consumer base. And that's the number one reason why we have such an advantage of starting a business here in the U.S. The United States has an extremely large and diverse consumer market, right? And so what we talk about is offering significant opportunities for businesses to reach a wide range of customers. The market size, it provides entrepreneurs with the potential for scalability and growth, and that is very, very true. If you've never owned a business before, you've never done market research, sometimes you just think about your small, little, tight-knit community. You don't realize the true market size and consumer base that exists here in the United States.
No question about it. One of the key phrases that I've often heard out there by very successful entrepreneurs and teachers who have built businesses before is the riches are in the niches. And that's because in the United States, the market is so big that a niche still might represent, millions of potential clients, or at the very least hundreds of thousands of potential clients. And so when you have and offering a unique product or service that can deliver value and help that customer client solve the problem that they're looking to solve and give them a great result, then that's why you can build these niches. And access to capital is the second top reason why you can start a business and succeed in 2023 that oftentimes just doesn't exist in so many other parts of the world because their financial system is not built on freedom. It's not built on freedom of different financial institutions to be incentivized to offer financing. There are not benefits exclusively for business owners. And it can be very risky to start a business. And one of the big reasons why, and this is one of those hidden reasons that's actually we're not going to specifically announce out today of one of the top 7, but it's in the ability to access capital. If you are unable to pay a loan line of credit thing back, well, the founding fathers built this awesome thing. It doesn't sound awesome, but trust me, it is. It's called bankruptcy. If you cannot pay your debts for starting a business in another country, you may go to jail. And that's oftentimes how the world worked for many years. And in the 1800s, because the United States was built upon a financial system of freedom, people, yes, you may lose some assets, you may have to start over, but you can start over and start another business. And as Mark Cuban says, you only have to be right once. And that's what's so amazing about living in the United States of America and starting a business. But our financial system offers so many financing options, whether it's loans, lines of credit, 0% interest business credit cards. You can often find a way to get financing for your business. And that is not reality in most places across the world. And so that's a huge deal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can't even imagine some of these other countries like you talked about where there is no access to capital and they're using their life savings. And if they fail, that's it. Or if they did somehow borrow money and they fail, they're going to jail, right? You look at anything in life, Leo, if you're trying to success from a position, or if you're trying to find success from a position of fear, it's going to be very, very tricky. And so like you just said, with the access to capital, with the bankruptcy situation, you kind of know coming into it what the worst case scenario is. And you're right, it's not going to jail. Maybe it's losing some assets, but you can rebuild this thing. And so it's giving these entrepreneurs and business owners in the United States to actually build things and find success from a position of confidence and not a position of fear. And I think that's so important.
Amen. Absolutely. So access to capital right up there is one of the top reasons why you can start a business.
The third reason here, Leo, is as much as politicians probably don't want to admit this, they they know deep down that mid and small size businesses are the lifeblood of our country. And that being said, there are absolutely very supportive legal and there's regulatory framework in place to support the small and mid-sized businesses and give them the confidence that they need and the advantages that they need to actually succeed.
No question. And again, outside of our country and maybe even in the 1800s to a certain extent in the U.S., big businesses would create kind of these monopolies, and they would really keep small businesses from being able to even launch or thrive. And so that's the good news. There are different regulations put in place where there are certain rules that you have to follow by. And so the big business can't always keep other businesses from growing. And the cool thing is with technology, the internet, and the way that social media makes marketing available to almost anybody who creates a great product, service, or some useful and viral content, anybody has the chance to build a business. And so the opportunities, oftentimes I see in the news that it's harder than ever, but I think that's wrong. I think it's actually easier than ever. There's more opportunity. You see young kids. I mean, goodness, you see young kids in their teens starting successful businesses in all sorts of different industries, and you didn't see that before. And I think that's evidence and proof that you can create these amazing businesses. I mean, you look at someone like Mr. Beast, who started, I don't know what he started. Was he 10, 11 years old? And he started his YouTube channel, and fast forward now, and he didn't have any financial backing. He didn't have anything special. I don't think he looks like he's a supermodel, but man, is he great at creating amazing content and video. And he's built this massive following, and he's built this empire around him. He's got his Mr. Beast burgers and the Feastables. My kids know all this stuff. And so you got to take your hat off to someone like that. And those are, again, further just examples that you can create your own business and succeed at a higher rate than anywhere else in the world and in history. All right. Number 4 is entrepreneurial culture. The United States has a strong tradition of entrepreneurial spirit and a culture that values risk-taking, innovation, and creativity. The American dream concept.
You know, it's interesting. The American dream is a concept that I absolutely love, Leo. And when you think about this, sometimes I take this for granted. I was thinking about the American dream just this last weekend where we're celebrating the 4th of July. My brother was talking to me about a business he's starting, and I was thinking back about my childhood, and I was thinking, you know, from a very, very, very young age, whether it was a lemonade stand or selling baseball cards. As I got a little older, it was mowing lawns. It was aerating lawns. It was always this constant challenge and game in my head of how can I create something bigger for myself and my family? How can I make sure that I never have to work for someone else? How can I make sure to provide the resources that I need for myself and my family? And I got thinking, and I was realizing, you know, Leo, the American dream is not dead. The American dream is only dead if you're killing it. And I think a lot of the times we're failing as leaders and as parents is we're not allowing these youth to dream anymore. We're telling them, you go to school, you get your accounting degree, and you go be an accountant, and you do that for so many years, and you retire, and you spend your retirement, and then you die. We are the ones killing the American dream. The country itself, the economy, the resources, it's not America that's killing the American dream, it's us. And those that understand that it's still there and still very alive are the ones that are going to thrive and experience the actual American dream. I want to reiterate, Leo, we're not sitting here saying that there's a problem if you decide you want to go be a mechanic. That's fine. If you decide you want to go be a mechanic and work the 9 to 5 and build up a retirement and retire when you're 65, so be it. But don't say the American dream is dead because you're unwilling to go chase it.
All right. So our fifth reason is access to talent. The U.S. attracts talented individuals from around the world, fostering a diverse and skilled labor pool. This availability of talent provides entrepreneurs with access to a wide range of expertise and skills needed to build and grow their businesses.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it talks about a diverse labor pool. Not only do we have top-notch universities and colleges, but we have all sorts of people that want to come to the United States to chase that American dream, that are hungry and motivated. We have we have one right here in our office, right? Hamilton came here from Venezuela, and he is hungry. He wants to make sure that he's improving his life and that he is taking advantage of the opportunity that he's been given. And I think we see that time and time again. There are a lot of people that understand what it's like to not actually truly have freedom, and they come to America and they are excited to work.
100%. It's so awesome. Yeah, I love immigrants. And so if you don't have immigrants on your team, or if you haven't spoken with one lately, do so and ask them questions. Ask them questions about what it's like in some of these other areas.
Absolutely. And the sixth reason here is networking opportunities. The United States has numerous business hubs, vibrant entrepreneur ecosystems, right? You look at Silicon Valley, you look at New York City, Boston. These regions offer entrepreneurs opportunities for networking, collaboration, access to industry experts, mentors. And what's so nice is it's not just all government controlled, right? There's so many collaborations amongst other business owners. There's so many different groups and communities that you can get involved in where it's business owners helping one another. We are a part of a handful of these. We've been to a lot of these trainings and worked with different mentors, and sometimes people have these negative connotations about them. And again, I think that's just them saying, I'm scared to start a business, so I'm going to call all of these things bogus. But there are so many resources in our country to help you learn and grow and become a good, positive, strong business owner.
There is access to these amazing networks. And now with the way technology is now, you don't even have to know, Bob down the street who's a millionaire who's been building businesses for the past 30 years and can be your mentor. That's one way of mentorship. And now the new way is there's amazing entrepreneurs on YouTube, online, on Instagram that you can follow, that you can learn from. You can read their books. You can read their tweets. You can see exactly how they think and their story, listen to them on podcasts, and learn how they created successful businesses, and learn about marketing, about sales, about leadership, about creating amazing products and services, and how you deliver more value to your clients and customers. And that's available with these networking opportunities, and you can do them in person. You can do them virtually on Zoom. So many different opportunities for you to be able to learn and have mentorship, and a lot of it can even be free up to a certain point. But I will say this, those that invest in themselves and have skin in the game succeed at a much higher rate. I always give the example that Russell Brunson always would share, and he would say that he would invite friends and family to these events where people paid thousands of dollars to attend them. And he would ask, guess how many of my friends and family have actually created successful businesses that showed up to these events free of charge? Not one. But the people that invested thousands of dollars to get the same information and be there, who had skin in the game, succeeded at a very high rate, and many of them created successful multi-million-dollar businesses learning from that information. And so that's something else that I think you were bringing up, where oftentimes these different training programs are called scams, and yet we don't call college a scam, even though it's increased in price 1,200% without anywhere near value delivered at 1,200% over the last 40 years. And yet you can go learn how to start an Amazon business for $5,000 from someone who's actually done it and done it well. That's not a scam. That's an amazing opportunity.
Amen. And the last reason here, Leo, number 7, and again, we look at so many of these points and I'm like, I've been taking these for granted.
We have.
You don't even realize. You just think that it's something that we're entitled to, and we're really lucky and fortunate and blessed to have this. And so the last reason here is the infrastructure and the technology, right? The United States has a very well-developed physical and digital infrastructure. We've got reliable transportation. We've got advanced telecommunications. We have high-speed internet connectivity. And this is something a lot of places don't have. Like, we had a client, a referral partner, not a client, in Mexico that very connected, did pretty well online, but anytime we needed to jump on a Zoom, he had internet, but it was constantly buffering. He was always having issues, and he was in a nice area right outside of Cancun. And these are just the little things that we do take for granted, like the ability to get on a front runner and get from Provo to Salt Lake City, and because you didn't have a car, you just moved here and you didn't have transportation. Well, the United States provides a way for everyone to make this happen.
Again, there it is. There's the evidence. Everybody can win And a lot of it is a mindset. It is a mindset over time. It's how you raised. And it's interesting. I was watching a video by Alex Hormozy, and he talked about two things that you need to succeed in entrepreneurship. The first thing he talked about is you've got to learn new skills, but you also have to have new beliefs. So ask yourself, what beliefs do you have that you don't even question, are not true, are actually holding you back? And if you're taking advice from people who are not where you want to be someday, you may want to start asking, who should I be following? And maybe I should be following people who have actually done what I want to do.
Amen, Leo. And I think it's case in point. These 7 reasons are spot on. The American dream exists. The American dream is very, very alive. And if you're not achieving it, it's on you, right? I mean, I think it's just that initial mental block that you have to get through, not just with your first business, but you look at it, Leo, and you look at all these people that maybe they failed on business 1, they failed on business 2, they failed on business 3, and then they finally have a success. Then look how many successful businesses they create thereafter. It's having that first breakthrough to blow through that mental roadblock that's telling you can't do this. Because I'm telling you right now, if you're watching this, you're thinking about starting a business, you can do that. You just need to have the courage, the relentlessness, and the nonstop belief that you can make this happen.